Welcome to the Daily Truth Report. I'm your host, Noah, and we are here with our returning guest, Bo Polny. Bo, welcome back to the show.
Noah, thank you. Thank you. What a wonderful time that we live in, and I'm so excited to be here. These are extremely exciting times. Our world is at a extremely pivotal and historic time point. So thank you for having me back.
It is a true pleasure to have you back on the show, and always a joy to have you on and talk with you, Bo. You are the reason my inbox has been flooded for the past month because everybody is emailing me saying, "What is Bo talking about? What is Bo saying now? What's coming next?" And so we had to get you back on. You were telling me in the pre-interview that we've been in kind of a quiet period of time, but it is about to get absolutely explosive. So we're gonna get into that here in just a minute. But I just wanted to kick this off to say we're gonna follow up on everything. Bo's gonna cover April, May, and then you're really gonna love June and July. So Bo, I think with that, I want to kind of turn it over to you. We have a lot to talk about, and I'm going to get your presentation up on the screen so we can look at that as you're talking.
Thanks. Appreciate it. So wonderful, Noah. So the really exciting part here, Noah, is where our world is at right now. This has been an incredibly stressful year for many people. You know, since the time point of April 26th, the end of April passing, I knew that there's nothing to talk about in May. So we didn't do any interviews because there was nothing to talk about. And you'll see nothing really happen in May, but things are really starting to boil over. And we're about to see epic go down here, or extreme excitement go down here starting June. And I believe all of it, Noah, starts next week. I got some revelation last night, and also this entire week I've been putting the presentation together, and I cannot believe how incredible these pieces have fit together. And I've shown you some of this prior to the interview, Noah, and my goodness, how the pieces all now fit together and with regard to time is truly biblical. Only God could have done this, Noah.
Yeah, we've got some big stuff coming up, and if you think nothing is happening or you think nothing is going to happen, all I can say is you're going to be in for quite the show here coming up. So, and we're talking quickly. We're talking some of these dates you have are coming up just around the corner. And so, Bo, let's now. When you were last on the show, we talked about April 23rd through the 26th. We're going to cover that. There were several things that actually happened during that time period. We haven't seen them fully play out yet, but they are in play. And when you see the culmination of this stuff, just trust me, you're going to be happy. And when you look back, it's only been since November. You look at some of the waiting periods in the Bible, and people waited a lot longer than this. So our patience is about to be restored. But Bo, I want to let you talk. Take us through your presentation here. What's our first slide?
Sure, Noah. So I'll go through some of the slides. Some of the slides are from prior interviews, so I'll go through those quicker. So people want details, please go to our prior interviews. And then there's a handful of really, really prophetic and key new charts that are just timelines are just incredible. So we'll spend a little more time with those. But basically, the essence of what I want to talk about is how the world's about to change, and how, if you look at the first slide, you know, the 4th of July, that's a very, very important time point. As spring ends and as summer begins, and as we step into the 4th of July, and as we step into the beginning of July, we're supposed to see, or what's coming in the month of June is going to be something that's going to shake and rock the world. And that's all I can tell you right now. So what events are going to happen, I have no idea. But the calculations all point to completion and perfection by the start of July, by early July. So I want to start off by going off to page 2 here. And if you can scroll up, this is really, this is profound. This was given to me to read today because I really believe this is where our world is at. So please listen carefully. This was read by Jesus Christ, okay, when he pronounced himself to be Messiah, and he pronounced his kingdom. He pronounced he's the king of his kingdom. We're in end times. We're supposed to see return of Messiah. So I want to read this because this is prophetic and specific to the world and the time that we are specifically living in right now.
Bo, please do. Last time you were on, you had your beautiful shofar that you blew live on our show. So I would love to have you read this verse right now on our show. That'd be great. Thank you.
So this is Isaiah 61. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to comfort the brokenhearted and to proclaim that captives will be released and prisoners will be freed, to proclaim the year of the Lord, 2021, and the day of vengeance of God, to comfort all who mourn. We are here. We are about to see the day of the Lord's favor and the day of his vengeance.
Most people don't know that red part, do they, Bo?
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. We've waited and we've prayed. Now we're about to see vengeance. So let me give you the timelines. Scrolling up to page 3. Now, the number 4 is a representation of completion. That's why Israel had 44 kings and then it ended. That's why the United States had 44 presidents and then it ended, okay? So with 45, that's why they're fighting, because they don't want him. 44th is supposed to be the last and final president. So number 44 is so historic, and you're going to see how that directly relates to the 4th of July in a few minutes. We scroll up next, page 4. Remember, from prior interviews, the United States was founded under God. The Constitution, a third of it is out of the Bible. That is why they hate the United States so badly. Next, page 5. What is the golden egg? It's the United States. And the United States' job is to protect Israel, the golden goose. Why are they attacking Israel right now? Because the golden goose, they believe, the golden egg, they believe is weakened. They're controlling it right now, the golden egg. And so they believe that they can attack the golden goose, Israel. The golden egg and the golden goose were both are, and we're always protected by God. So anything and whatever their agendas are, it's not going to work. Next page, and who are these people? They are the evil ones. They are the fallen ones. This is specifically Ephesians 6:12. What does it say? We battle not against flesh and blood, but principalities. These are evil demonic spirits. This is what we're fighting against, and that's what you're seeing going on in this world right now. And are they here? Oh, you bet they are. Go to page 7. They were thrown out of heaven with Satan. Lucifer was thrown out of heaven. He became Satan when he was thrown out. And that's why they are hiding what you're seeing on page 7, because this proves that Satan is a fallen foe and all of his angels. And that's why when what's about to happen, when they get exposed, they're going to be screaming, freaking out. You are going to see insanity go across this world when the truth is revealed. Because what is the truth in the Bible? The truth will set you, us, free. What is the truth? The truth is horrible. The truth is horrible what these people have been doing. And these are bloodlines going back generations and thousands of years. You can go to page 9. They're within all the presidents, except for 2. They're Hollywood. They're all over the place. These are the demonic entities that have going back all the way to the fall. That's how far this goes.
Hey, Bo, before we go on, I just want to take a pause really quick. For someone who's watching this for the first time, or maybe has never heard about this, I want to scroll back up to this slide you have here. These pictures, first of all, these are real pictures. Second of all, people can research the giants. First of all, you can read the Bible, and giants are referenced all throughout the Bible.
Genesis 6, it starts right there.
It starts right in
the fallen
Genesis
ones,
6.
the sons of God. They mated with the daughters of men to create giants, the Nephilim.
It's all throughout the Old Testament where they talk about giants, and these are not just bigger people. It's a different race. It's
a different DNA. It's a DNA. It's a mixture of godly entities, angels, with man. So it created a new DNA. So it created a new structure, and that's basically why the flood had to happen. God had to wipe them out because they were horrible. They were eating people. These are nasty entities, and that was going on. So they had to be destroyed.
I didn't want anyone to get.
But the spirits are still here, and you're all over the world, all over Washington, all over the satanic places. They're all over Vatican. These places, they're everywhere, and we're about to see them scream.
You bet. Well, that's good. Keep rolling, Bo. I just wanted people to understand that is You can research it, you can look it up. You're going to see a ton of information about giant skeletons that they've found over the years, and are doing everything they can to keep those hidden. So that's legitimate. We're not going to get stuck on that, but if you want to dig into that, you go ahead and understand that what Bo is telling you here is part of this information that's about to come out, and that's why it's going to absolutely rock the world. So go ahead, Bo, keep going.
So then that takes us all over to the aliens. We're starting to see, I've been saying, you know, for a long time, we're going to see alien exposures. You're going to see more and more. And now what are you seeing? A lot of alien stuff on TV and everything else. Why? Because I'm telling you, when God moves his hand, it's when all of first Egypt died, including the animals. Okay, how do you explain that except the act of God? Okay, so we're about to see an event that's going to go down that's going to be biblical. When I say biblical, I mean God is going to do something. When this happens, when this event goes down, they're not going to be able to explain it in the natural. Okay, so the only option they have, the only wild card they have, is to blame it on the aliens, and that's why they're starting to see more and more alien stuff. And soon enough, they're going to, you know, this event, they're going to say the aliens caused it, whatever it goes down. I don't know, but I'm telling you, the aliens are nothing but a deception from the truth, and that's why you're starting to see them. So they're going to have to pull the alien card because of what God is about to do here in the month of June, by July. So something in the next 30, 60, 90 days, and you'll see why it's these days, because it's basically we're at an end point. Remember, I'm talking the year of Jubilee. The year of Jubilee began last August, and it ends this August. So whatever's going down, it's done by the time August rolls along. And I believe, based on the cycle counts, the 440 cycle count, we're supposed to see it by early part of July. So that scrolls us over to page 10, the next page, Noah. And that basically talks about where we are. We're in end times. Whether you want to believe it or not, I don't care. I'm telling you the truth. You can pray on it, but these are end times. There's 4 horsemen, and what it talks about is when the first seal is open, the world will never be the same. Well, am I wrong? The world is never going to be the same. The seals are open, okay? So the first seal was a coronavirus. The second seal was peace taken from the earth. And now we're at third seal. The third seal technically was opened, from what I calculate, on last March, when the market crashed. But again, we haven't seen anything manifest because, again, they're sequential. So the third seal follows the second, which means that the third seal is next. The third seal is the greatest financial event in human history. It's a black horse with the scales, okay? And so the way this financial system is set up, by the time God is done, it's the opposite. Okay, so the third seal is a great financial event, the greatest financial event in human history. Well, what would that include? Well, let's see. What is God's money? Gold and silver. What's not God's money? The US dollar. Okay, so what do you think is going to get whacked and what's going to explode in price? Okay, so we're basically going to see God's money explode and rise in value. There's the scales right there on page 7. And God and Satan's money, evil, you know, in God we trust. No, that's not our God. That's on the dollar bill. That's their God. Okay. That's the fallen ones. That's the giant stuff. So that you're going to see the complete financial reset, of a complete rebalancing of the financial system beginning this year, and that thing's going to go for years and years forward. And so those involved, those prepared, are going to have immense blessings. First, there's damages, and then there's blessings. Damages are 7-fold. Blessings, depending on what you've done for God's kingdom, are either 30 or 60 or 100 fold. Those are blessings. Okay, and blessings are good. Those numbers can be applied to God's money. Okay, but basically the bottom line is we are at third seal, the third seal event. I believe, based on my cycles, we're supposed to see in the month of June, this month. Okay, and so let's continue to page 18. How does it all play out? It's the 4-2-1 cycle. Lois Vogel Sharp, an incredible prophet. She speaks specifically about the 4-2-1, about the 1-2-4 cycle. I basically look at it as the 1-2-4-4-2-1 backward cycle. I got those of you who know a little bit of my history, when I was in Vienna at a conference, code check, I got a ticket and it was 1-2-4. What a coincidence. That night I got prophecy, and God showed me that the 1-2-4 cycle is a circle. So it's a 1-2-4, 4-2-1, 1-2-4. It recycles itself. And you can see that cycle coming up here, I think on page 20. But before we go to page 20, I want you to know, if you can play page 19, because this was a 50-second clip on which I spoke of on November 28th, 2020 with Greg Hunter on the USA Watchdog. 50 seconds. This is what I said is going to happen into April, May, right now, because we're in the start of June right now, for the stock market. And so in other words, the stock market has done nothing but absolutely play out perfectly. Go ahead, Noah.
Yep, you bet. And before I play this, everyone understand what Bo just said. He's, for everyone who says, oh, you know, now we're just talking about June or July. Bo's been telling you June or July is the key all the way back on November 28, 2020. And here it is. We're going to play it for you. Let's watch.
Briefly on the stock market. Again, so it's a 124, 421, 124, 421, the cycle. The cycle always crashes on a back cycle, a 421 cycle. So that would take, if the markets are going to crash, if this, again, don't use this as trade advice, but if the markets are going to crash and we've got a third cycle down, that would take us into June of 2021. So, so in the meantime, we could see the Dow continue to progress higher. We could see, I got here maybe as high as 33 to 34,000 on the Dow before it crashes. That's possible. Bottom line is the place not to be is in the paper fake stock market. And the place to be is God's money, gold, silver. And again, not that cryptos are God's money, but they are a transition into this new monetary system.
So here you go. So if you listen to that interview, Noah, what did it say? It said that the stock market could get up to 33 to 34,000. Look at the chart pattern that I had in that interview. It's the exact same pattern, exact same chart that's on page 20, Noah.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll up, pull up page 20.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Dow is at 34,000. The pattern is a 124, 421, 124, 421. That pattern indicates that June is a 1 month. That last time, the first time it happened was 2018. First time. Second time was 2020 last year. And now we're at the third one cycle, which means that this third one could be and should be epic. How far the Dow falls, stock markets, I have no idea. I really don't care. Could it go down as low as what it points to on the chart? Sure, it's very, very possible. My point being is something huge is about to happen. We're in a 421 cycle and we are at 1. We just started that. And Noah, you've asked me a handful of times to do an interview in May. What did I say? Not yet, not yet, not yet. Why did I say that? Because I said, Noah, let's do it the first week of June.
That's right.
We're here, okay? I have 4 interviews lined up, all back to back, right here at the Thursday, Friday, June 3rd, June 4th. And why? Because this is the pinnacle completion point per my cycles, okay? So all that's supposed to happen now is a market's supposed to turn down next week. And if they turn down next week, we're supposed to see potentially on or about Tuesday into Wednesday, maybe June 8th, 9th, right in that time point, next week sometime, we're supposed to see the market start to just plunge, okay? And we're going to have several legs down. So that's just going to be leg 1. This thing's going to last for weeks. So June is going to be horrible for the stock, for anything paper, specifically the stock markets. But I want to talk about how that 421 cycle, the one ends on June. Okay, that takes us to the next page, page 21. That's why the July cycle starts the world reborn. God wins.
I love that.
The timeline is now. And so let's scroll over to the next page. Now, the US dollar is one of the other huge paper instruments that basically controls and runs the world. When these secrets get revealed, the truth will set you free, okay? When the truth sets us free, the truth are deep secrets that have been hidden. When they get revealed, that's the only thing propping up the faith and confidence in a dollar. You expose the truth and that dollar is going to plunge. And that is the jubilee that I've been talking about for the dollar.
Yeah, Bo, what you and I know what we're talking about here. What kind of stuff were you talking about? Deep secrets. I mean, this is some bad stuff, isn't it?
Well, it's from what's been going on with all the kids. Like, I don't want to, say too much because, you don't want to expose, you don't want to say too much because you don't want to get these videos blocked. But the point being is it's full of horrible things they've done with the kids and the blood stuff that they do. And, with the election you just saw, like, stealing a country, like you could just go on and on and on. And this has been going on for centuries. Okay. This is Goliath, and we're about to see God take him down. I
love it. That's right. Okay. And Bo, when you talk about July 4 being big, you told me in the pre-interview that you don't watch a lot of news. You get your revelation directly from God, and you write this stuff down. But Kat Kerr just did an interview, and I think just yesterday, and she said, get ready for one of the best 4th of Julys that you've ever experienced in your lifetime. So
no way, really?
That is,
she
yes.
said that?
And I will say this, you're going to see a whole lot more of Trump coming up, and no one can stop that. I know he has a big announcement, something he's going to be doing on July the 4th, so look forward to that date. I'm not saying that's the date everything will happen, but I'm just saying one of the greatest 4th of Julys we've had in a long time is about to happen.
My cycles, I'm just telling you, it all correlates perfectly to what's about to happen here. It's extremely exciting. But the really cool part that I want to say is on Kat Kerr, I was just the craziest thing. My son was graduating in Dallas, so I go to side note, I go to Dallas for my son's graduation, and next thing you know, I'm like, I turn around, I said to my wife, hey, why don't you go say hi to her? You know who it was? It was Kat Kerr. So my wife actually right in the airport, and I go say hi to her too. I've never met her, so I introduced myself. But it was the coolest thing. Like, what are the chances, right? So I meet Kat Kerr right at the airport, in Dallas. So it was really cool. So we just had a 5-minute chat, whatever. My wife really loved it, had a chance to speak with her. But the point being is, it's like, none of these things are coincidences, okay? These were all just like, what are they, like, really? Like, I'm in Dallas and then she's there, like, come on, right? So
that's funny.
But it happened, okay? So then that takes me to the US dollar. So the dollar gets whacked, okay? So when the dollar drops in value, when you go to sell your bond, guess what? You're going to sell it into the dollar. They just lost 20, 30%, okay? So the whole financial system gets a major haircut. The world financial system, gets a huge haircut. And what happens when that happens? Well, okay, so God's money we know is going to go up, okay? They've been controlling it forever, okay? And what happens, to the other alternate money, cryptos, digital, okay? Mm-hmm. Cryptos are going to do a moonshot. Look at that chart on cryptos on page 23. I want to point something out to everybody, okay? Everybody's freaked out that, Bitcoin dropped down to 30,000 from 60, 50% haircut, okay? I want you to look at the chart, okay? Just a little point in note, if you've never studied charts, before anything crashes into a bear market, it spikes.
Yep.
Okay? Do you see a spike in March or April, Noah?
Not to me.
Not okay. My point is there was none. Okay. So anybody who's freaked out about the crypto crash, that's about to change really quickly. Okay. Because there was no spike in March or in April.
Yep.
And when the world financial system gets a haircut, the other currency, gold, silver, specific, and then the ones moving the most right now, the cryptos, they're going to rip vertical. Okay. So it's just, we're at an incredibly exciting time point, taking us to page 24.
Hey, Bo, if the dollar is suddenly worth a lot less and has been hyperinflated, and I've been talking about this a lot on my website. I've been posting a lot of warning articles about the coming hyperinflation. If that happens and we start to look like Venezuela, and all of a sudden it costs $10 to buy a gallon of milk instead of $3, what happens to Bitcoin? All of a sudden, Bitcoin is priced 200,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the hyperinflation is not going to affect those who have cryptocurrencies or precious metals, because the appreciation, damages, and then blessings of the precious metals, and then the rate of move of the cryptos are going to blow through any hyperinflation. So you'll never feel hyperinflation if you position yourself financially. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's basically how it's going to work out, because look at the math you've seen right now. Look at from Yom Kippur, okay, from the new year, that yellow bubble on page 23. That's Bitcoin going from 10,000 to 60 plus.
Yep.
On the initial drop of the dollar.
Yep.
Wait till you see the dollar plunge. Guess
Right.
what? Guess what Bitcoin's going to do then with cryptos? Are you kidding me?
Yep. So Bo, you always tell me that you're not really a price target kind of person. You're more of a timing kind of guy. But everything you're seeing, you're what I'm hearing you say is it would not be out of line or surprising for Bitcoin to hit 100,000 or even 200,000 possibly this year.
No, I think easy 200,000 this year on Bitcoin, easy. And the reason
Wow.
I don't, because I have very little Bitcoin, because as you know, when my subscribers, as being a subscriber, we're killing it in some of these alternate coins. Holy mackerel, right? So Bitcoin's like it's the tide, right? So when Bitcoin goes up, some of the alternate coins we have, like they're exploding. So
Yep.
it's really fun to watch this, as this plays out. But I say easy 200,000 on Bitcoin this year.
Wow.
As a target. So I don't, but I'm just telling you, those who don't capitalize this year are going to have a horrible winter in 2022, so it's all timing, as you say.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first. Easy 200,000 is possible if we start to see some of this meltdown that Bo is expecting. So, all right, Bo, let's keep rolling. What's that mean for silver?
Well, silver has just been on lockdown for 40 plus years. It's made a perfect cup and handle. They are not letting it break into that $30 mark, because it breaks 30 and that thing's going to rip to 60 to 100 and $200, as you see on the cup and handle. You don't need to understand charts. I give you an example. It's a picture. Look at the picture at the top. That's an example. Look at the picture on the bottom. And my point being is, it's the blue arrow shows that gold and silver, specifically silver here, is just begging to explode. And so, the third seal is going to be that event where silver explodes, rips vertical. The third seal event is, when God moves, we're going to see it explode vertical, and we're going to see that break of the handle this year, 2021. And so, third seal, the greatest financial event in human history. That's where we're at. We're about to see it. And so it's extremely exciting. And then that's going to be, the fuel for Bitcoin. That's going to be the cryptocurrencies. It's going to be the fuel for gold and silver. It's just going to be incredible. But it's all based on page 28, the Leviticus cycle and Nixon. Okay. Nixon detached the dollar from gold in 71 August. Okay. So August to August, so 49 years takes us to 2020, last year. This is the year of Jubilee. So page 29, Leviticus 25, 9, 10 talks specifically about the year of Jubilee. And you shall consecrate the 50th year. What is the 50th year? It started in August 2020 and it ends in August 2021, this August. Okay. So we have literally 70 to 90 days, for the year of Jubilee to complete. Okay. So incredibly exciting. Thou shalt consecrate the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout the land and to all of its inhabitants. It shall be a Jubilee year. Okay. So we are here, whether they want a Jubilee year or whether they don't want a Jubilee year. And I can promise you they don't want a Jubilee year. God makes it happen. Read my lips. God makes it happen.
Yeah, this is awesome, Bo.
So now let's go to page 31.
Hey, and by the way, we're moving through this quick. The link to this slideshow presentation, Bo puts these together. Bo, these must take you hours to complete. Thank you for doing that. Bo does these for free. He's given you the link to these below the video. Just look down there or look in the comments, and the link is going to be there for free. You can get it, download it. You can click the links in here and look at those charts. It's all in here for you. So don't forget to grab these. You're gonna want to have this.
Yes, please take. I do these out of my own time, but out of my heart. I do this for the world. I do this to have people clearly see with color and vibrancy and phrases of the Bible how it all is tied together and how the timelines are Incredible. This is not possible. None of this is not possible, Noah. It's unless by the hand of God, these timelines.
We're about to get to a couple of screens here in the slideshow that are really going to blow your mind. So I want to get to those. You'll see what Bo's talking about that absolutely could not be planned, even if you tried to. So
Exactly, Noah. It's just like you're just
do
on
it.
page, 31, with the Mayflower. So that was 400 years this November, right? And then also you look at 400 years, and it talks about in Genesis 15:13, where Israel being released from bondage, right? But then what did Israel do? Because remember, in the Bible it says, a day is like 1,000 years, right? Years and months and days can be interchanged. My point being is that's why this 400 cycle is so important. That's
Yep.
the revelation I got this week. The 400 cycle, remember, they were released from bondage after 400 years. And then they wandered in the wilderness for another what? 40 years. So that's 440 years. Now let's turn that into days and you're going to see what happens. So let's go to page 32. So everyone's like, you talked about April 26, 2021, what happened or anything? Yeah, things happened. But remember, the key to all of this was April 26, which I didn't even know last year, ended up being a feast date. And if this is prophetic, if this is biblical, all of the key dates must, I repeat, must line up on biblical feast dates. And they did. Okay, so April 26th, if you read the Enoch calendar, if you read Enoch, it's actually Passover. I do believe that was Passover. The calendar that they used is actually incorrect. But even if you use the Moses calendar, it doesn't matter because it still takes you to a second Passover, which would be exactly on that same date. So whether it's the second Passover, or whether it's the first Passover based off Enoch, it doesn't matter. It's still Passover, the 26th of April. And so the point being is, so what are some of the events or what happened? Okay, well, let me ask you a question, Noah. When Ginsburg died, okay, so Amy got elected, but the point being is we're still waiting for okay, nothing, all of these deaths or births or events, as long as they happen on key biblical dates, it just points to the fact that was an important date. Okay, so I thought when Noah steps off the ark, we're in a new world. Well, guess what? It's not that simple. God's a little bit more complicated than just using Noah's cycle. So then you take the Noah cycle, which landed on specific biblical feast dates, and then we extend that to the completion cycle of 444. So before we step into that, April 26th, 3 events, any one of them are still key critical events because remember, the death of Ginsburg led to the position of Amy, who is then going to end up overturning Roe versus Wade, which hasn't happened yet. You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
Yep.
Just like Maricopa County audits officially began on the 26th. Okay. Nothing's happened yet, but it's the event leads to huge changes because the truth will set you free. Also, what happened on that same day, California officially gets the required verified votes to recall Gavin Newsom. Okay. And the third thing, which you can verify, another event that happened is the leaked video of John Kerry officially proves that the Logan Act was violated on behalf of Obama and Biden. That's called treason. Okay. So all 3 of those events happened on the 26th, but nothing, we haven't stepped into the new world yet, or have we?
And Bo, I'll just say that these audits, especially the one in Arizona and the new ones that are coming online, these are the real deal. These are, all you have to know is how much they are fighting against these things and sending fleets of attorneys and spending hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars to fight these audits. What do you have to hide if there wasn't a problem there? They are panicked.
It's going to be horrible. This month of June, I don't know what events are coming down, but all I see is a market plunge. So if the markets are plunging, let me ask, something's going on. That's all I can tell you. Something's going on in August. So it takes us to the Red Sea moment. So if you do the Enoch calendar, 21 days forward takes us to Israel, U.S. time, 25th, 26th of May, Red Sea moment. Okay, did anything happen? Actually, it did. That takes us to the page 35. This is a really cool chart. This is awesome. Okay, so I found this. Actually, a pastor had put this together. Don't want to take credit for it, but I want to show you which he totally missed and how this is so important, okay? Because it shows you that all the eclipses mathematically backwards 7 years, mathematically forward 7 years, if you bring them together, they land on specifically the Red Sea moment date, specifically to May 26, 2021. That's the center of time between the old world and the new world. And then from when Noah steps off the ark, you do the 21 days forward, and that takes us to specifically the Red Sea moment. So the Red Sea moment specifically references the red blood moon on May 26th, 2021.
Look at that. Just look at that. Look at that graphic. That is incredible. Hey, and Bo, here's one other thing that I just heard the other day from Pastor Hank Kuhneman. He said several months ago, and we've got this up on our website. You can go watch it. We've got the clip. He said that the sign of all of this starting to break open would be the sign of the flower. And he didn't know what that meant when he said it. And he said they recently discovered that blood moon on May 26th. It's called a flower moon because of its. No, go look it up, and you can
So
find
this
Hank's
lines
clip.
up with Kat and Kuhneman.
It does.
There's presentations. Wow.
And that there would be a significant sign. And he said, look to the sign of the flower, and it will happen between the first 6 months of the year. But really what God was saying was something that Sunil picked up on. Yesterday, there was what was called a flower blood moon eclipse that took place.
Wow.
And it's very unique. And so the reason they call it a flower moon is because it marks an end of a particular season. Again, we're talking about a shift.
See, I'm just telling you, like, there's nothing in this presentation that I know this is the truth. It's just so fascinating to me to share this with you, Noah, and your viewers, because it blows my mind from what I'm about to show everybody here. It's incredible. It's fascinating how it's mathematical perfection.
Bo, and so these maps of the United States, are those the two solar eclipses, or those the eclipses that make an X across the United States?
Exactly. Yeah.
And this date is exactly square in the middle of those two.
Yes. Yeah. So we officially entered the new era in time. But remember, when something happens spiritually, it takes, those who don't know, but it takes a few days to manifest physically on earth. So a new era began officially on the 26th of May, and we're about to see it manifest.
Wow.
The manifestation is going to be the third seal. Okay. So incredible what's coming. That's all I can tell you. June is going to be just wow. When I say incredible for God's, it's going to be freaking out a lot of people. So for huge market events, for big things to go down, I don't know what events are going to go down, but I'm just telling you, all of this is in God's control. So don't go crazy. Just relax, be prepared. Make sure, remember, after the market crash of last year, there was, the food shelves and, all the stuff that people trying to buy food, like it was really a problem, right? So make sure you've got food in stores and, you got a few weeks of food in your house, and just prepare, be smart, because we don't know how this is going to play out over the next, 30 to 60, 90 days.
Yeah, but we are finally heading into, I want to go to this graphic because it's so good that you put together here. We've been in a winter season. We're coming out of that. We're in spring now, but it has felt like everything has just not been able to move. It hasn't been going, but you're telling us now when we're about to see these big events, they might be scary when they happen, or there might be some blowback, but we're about to enter the good stuff.
Absolutely. We've got, from when this point goes down, we've got 3 to 4 years that are just going to be awesome. We've got like the greatest spiritual harvest in human history. Because remember, what I've even talked about in prior interviews was how this November, this Thanksgiving is going to be the greatest Thanksgiving ever in the history of this world, Noah. So because, God's going to move his hand, and then people are going to be rejoicing. It's going to be truly incredible by Thanksgiving. But all of it is supposed to trigger and go down and occur before the 4th of July. And so let's scan over to page 38. So page 38, look at this 5 times, because this is awesome. The time here, the time cycles are beyond mathematically possible unless by the hand of God. Okay. So all of this starts with a door closing on the ark, when oil, that would equate to the time point of oil going to zero last year, Noah, correct?
Yep, I remember that.
Okay, so oil, so that's a start point. Okay, so from oil going to zero, and I was big, you know, all my past interviews, I'm about 370 days. Noah was on the ark for 370 days, and all of that is true. Noah steps off the ark, and that would have been April 26, 2021. And we had critical, very important events happen, but still nothing. Like, we haven't seen the wow factor. We haven't seen the hand of God yet. Okay, so we're at April 26th. Now, this is crazy, but if you add 400 days, just like 400 years of bondage, you just happen to end up on, the center of time. What a coincidence. May 26, 2021. That was just a coincidence. Now, another fun one is, 40 days and 40 nights. So 40 is very important in the Bible. So from April 26, when Noah steps off the ark, 40 days and 40 nights takes us to this Saturday, June 5th. Okay. Does something happen? I have no idea. But all I see is my stock market cycle shows a plunge after this Saturday. So next week, all heck breaks loose in the equity markets.
Okay.
And when I say heck, I mean to the downside. Okay. So after that date, June 5, do not look for new highs in the stock market. So I can tell you, and you might want to look at back to my stock market cycle chart of where the markets could go, because it's going to be a heck of a horrible June. And that takes me to even, 400 years of bondage, and then 440 years in the wilderness. So 440 years, let's say 440 days. 4th of July.
There it is.
What a coincidence. Celebrations. God's church will be celebrating this 4th. And remember, and Jesus pronounced that he is Messiah 44 months and 4 days later. He died on the cross. 444. Completion, perfection. It is done.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So July 9th, it is done.
Oh,
So
that is great.
Whatever's going down between today, June 3rd, and July 9th, just expect that we're supposed to see finally, but not finally, because it's basically been God's perfect timing that events are about to go down. And evil had a season, as I say on page 39, he had a season of winter. That's it, a full season. But evil will not survive through the end of spring, which is June 20th.
Yeah, we are not far away.
The day of vengeance is coming. God's vengeance. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. And vengeance is payback. And you know what they say about payback, Noah?
Yes, we do. But it's and I love this slide, Bo, because evil was given a season. Everybody was given time. They were given one last warning.
To repent. And these people, some of them are just sick that for what they have done, and the fact that they refuse to repent, that they can't see what they're doing is horrible. So God gave them one final season,
one final chance, and now it's time for vengeance and justice.
We've talked about these other slides, but basically this is the fall of Goliath. So the Goliath is, they're all the kingdoms, but basically God takes them down. And on page 41, we saw how it fell, Air Force One. And I love the word by done. Not by den, by done. He's done.
I like that.
Falls 3 times. And right as on the last day of winter. So, really interesting times. But then page 42 talks about spring. And so I want to read this on page 42 to yourself and to your viewers. Basically, spring brings the greatest move of God's Spirit ever in the history of this world. One of God's biggest surprises ever to hit the elite who have manipulated the markets and everything for generations. The markets will crash. Goliath will fall. God's people will begin to rise up in America and the world. Planting begins for the first great spiritual harvest this fall.
I love that.
There we go. And then, we go to page 43. Well, you're going to see a lot of good things happen this year for Mr. 45. I promise you. So right back to your website. We love Trump. It's going to be a lot of excitement because he's in the cycle, and his cycle is not over.
I love to hear that.
There's a cycle right there. Evil cycles on 44. So just, so you've got 4 years, 3.5 to 4 years to prepare for things that are coming, starting in, potentially 2023 and 24. 27 is supposed to get very ugly. So you don't want to be, you want to be prepared. Preparation is key. It says in the Bible, prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Page 45, you can keep scrolling through that. We've talked about this, but based off of the Antichrist kingdom. Page 46 gives you a potential time window there. Again, the further they're out, again, these are my best calculations as of now. But these are, timelines you want to be aware of. Page 47, the wheat and the tares. Which one are you? Choose wisely. Choose wisely. Yep. Because the wrong choice is going to be eternity on the wrong side.
Yep.
So, and then we've got, the next slide will be, feast and famine. Right now we're in the feast. We're coming into years of famine. Potentially that's the time frame that I think the famine's potentially supposed to start. Much of the famine might actually be not some real famine, and some of the famine will be actually because you can't afford it. Remember, because hyperinflation takes away the affordability factors. So those who didn't prepare, there might be food in the stores, but it's going to be so unobtainable in terms of price. So that's another form of famine. Okay. So it may not be just flat out famine. It just simply, you can't afford it.
Wow. Okay.
So really important to understand about preparation. And then if you think, that the coronavirus is plague, you haven't seen plague. Okay. We got the fourth seal coming. That's plague. And so we haven't seen it yet. Okay. So we're not there. And then that takes us into the latter part of page 50. God's judgments are coming. God's church won't be here for that. Okay, so just understand. But right now, let's still years in the future. But we just page 50, 51 talks about things that are coming upon the earth, none of which are exciting to look forward to. So it's really important to be tucked away in a safety zone, in a safe haven, which we talk about a little further down there, Noah. If you're not prepared, if you're not tucked away in the mountains, if you're not in safe havens, you're going to be experiencing the trumpets and the bowls if you have not been raptured. So it's really important to prepare. Arcs of safety, they will be going up across the world after the third seal moment. When the financial shift hits, the arcs of safety will be going up across the world. And that's the time to start acting for you and your family. Miracles are coming. They're supposed to start now, this month of June, into latest August, but miracles are here. Man cannot challenge God and win. Evil cannot overcome God's will. The same God that was with David when he picked up the stone to kill Goliath, stating, "You come to me with a sword and a spear and a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Father, the Lord of hosts, the God of the army of Israel's, who you have defied." Judgment is coming. I'm telling you, we are in the time of judgment. God's judgment is coming upon the earth, and we are here. So it's really exciting, Noah. There's little to no time left. Next week, based on my charts, all heck is supposed to break loose, and June is going to be horrible. But I do want to tell you that, those in Christ, those who understand what I'm saying, can hear what I'm saying, those that are listening and those that hear what I'm saying, fear not, for God the Father is in complete control of it all.
I love that you always end with that message, Bo, and that is so good. That's where we need to keep our vision and our focus. I love that. Thank you for always remembering to mention that at the end, because that is so important.
I'm so excited that we've waited and waited, and the final pieces are here. that's what I want to tell you about the presentation, Noah. Go ahead and ask a few more questions.
Well, yeah, no, I want to, you've got your slide here, and I do want to end. We talked about, you showed us some of your charts for the US dollar, charts for the stock market, charts for Bitcoin, and for silver and gold. You have a service where you send out a newsletter. You send them out every couple days. There's usually an update, sometimes more, sometimes less, and you're always telling us what you see. And I absolutely love that thing. And I know we have a lot of people that have ended up joining to get that newsletter. And why don't you just tell people, I don't want to put it in my words, but tell people a little bit about what you do on that. I always like to say here at the end too, whenever we're talking about your newsletter, what I love is, Bo, you and I have been talking for over an hour at this point. We're gonna post this online for free. Your presentation is for free. Your slides are free, but you do offer this, and you tell people if you want to get more information, go ahead and sign up. If not, you don't have to. And I just love that. But tell people a little bit about what you do with your newsletter.
The simplest form I can tell you is this. What I did was out of my heart. I wanted to show the world the timelines. We live in biblical timelines. So that's the truth. Everything I said today was for free because it's for free for the world to know. Now, if you want to be a part of the financial reset, I don't want to call it reset, financial shift, or the financial awakening, so as the scales rebalance, if you want to be a part of that and you want to know hey, what cryptocurrencies are strongest, or what are the best ones to have, or what should I buy? We cover all of that within the newsletter. Our cryptocurrency newsletter covers like a dozen coins, of which I think 8 of them are just blowing away the performance of Bitcoin. So, I personally like Bitcoin, but I don't have much of it at all. I don't think it's a great coin in terms of percentage gains. So we cover specific coins that are just blowing away Bitcoin in terms of performance or percentage gains. If you're going to put your money somewhere, put it to work. Have it multiply. That's kind of what cryptocurrencies are all about. So what we've seen so far in cryptos is nothing compared to what's coming. So for those of you who want specific details and some specific dates as to when the markets are supposed to run, and mainly when the next significant highs, because there are some highs coming here, some very sharp explosions coming. If you want some cycle time points, get our Bitcoin index. It's in there. Go to my website, Gold 2020 Forecast. If you use the code We Love Trump 49, so WLT 49, that'll give you it at half price. Forget it, this is for people who know how to trade, who are traders, and and want to be involved in cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and the alternate coins. But again, specifically for traders. Okay, if you're not a trader, you don't know how to buy Bitcoin, you don't know anything, don't buy this. This is for certain people, and for some people who don't even know how to buy Bitcoin, or how to get involved in cryptocurrencies. My son put together a website called Easy Crypto School. It's all right in the name, but basically it shows you how to step one from how to get it, how to get certain coins that you want to maybe have, and ultimately how to store them safely, because that's key is to store them safely. So those people who want to be involved in in cryptocurrencies, and have known nothing about it, your place to start is Easy Crypto School. So that's an introduction to what we do. Again, and you don't need any of this. If you just don't understand cryptocurrencies, you just want to buy precious metals, go buy precious metals. Actually, let me tell you this, go to my website. Halfway down on the right-hand side, there are 4 highly reliable places which I personally have bought precious metals from, particularly silver. I've used them over the years. Never have I had one issue with delivery or anything with any one of those. So I put them there as a guide, as a reference. I'm not related to any of these people, but they're very highly reliable places to get precious metals if you want to buy precious metals. So that's a little bit of a take on my website. But again, the website's Gold 2020 Forecast.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Interesting. Gold 2020 22 is 4. So all of this is we are living in prophetic times. We're here. We are just days away now, Noah.
Yeah, Bo, that's awesome. I would say it's not too late if you want to get in on some of these cryptocurrencies. If you don't understand it, then you don't need to be buying it. But if you understand Bo's presentation, and if you want to get some, it is an excellent way to protect yourself against hyperinflation. If things start to inflate, the price of these cryptocurrencies are most likely going to inflate. And Bo, you're right. You've got the picture on the screen here. You've got a bunch of the different coins that you follow, and there's some winners in there. I've been following you for a while, and I've picked up some of those. And your reports talk about which ones are still have a long way to a lot of upside left to go. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and grab that. You can use that WLT49 to save 50% off. And then people, every time we do an interview with Bo, I get dozens of emails saying, I don't understand how to do it. I don't know where to even go. What website do I go to? If I have not responded to you from one of those emails, I'm sorry, but I don't have the time to do it all. So if that's you, and if you just don't even know where to start, but if you know you want to start, you got to go to this easycryptoschool.com. That's Bo's son put that together with Bo's help, and it is awesome. We've had a lot of people go over there, sign up for it, and now they went from not understanding it to now they own a little bit of cryptocurrency and they're in the game. So if you want to go there, type in WLT39. You're going to get it for half off. And once you get it, then you'll be up to speed. And Bo, kudos to your son. He did a great job putting that thing together.
Thank you, Noah. Yeah, actually, I've kind of given him guidance, and he's extremely good with audio visual. And so he kind of, with my guidance, he ended up making incredibly wonderful videos I think the whole thing is wonderful. It basically walks you through everything to make it very, very simple. And including the videos just are like, you can just walk through it. It's so incredibly simple to understand when you watch the videos. So that's what I can tell you, Noah. You and I and the world has waited for God to take down evil. We've waited for vengeance. And I believe we are at the year of Lord's favor and his vengeance. And we are here.
Well, there we have it. Bo, thank you as always for your time. Very gracious of you to come on the show. Everyone is always asking about you, and so it's my pleasure to have you back on. I have a feeling that the next time we talk, it's going to be to talk about a lot of current events, and we're going to be saying, can you even believe this just happened? So I can't wait till our next chat. But for today, on behalf of everybody, Bo, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Noah. God bless you, your family, and also God bless all of your viewers. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. It's very important that you please share this with your family. Please share this with your family and your viewers and people close to you, people you love. Show this to them. Have them understand. Have them see how God's math is absolutely perfect.
There we go. We'll see you next time, Bo. Thank you.